Hello everyone, welcome back. See, in this session we are going to discuss about the Snell's law derivation. See, we know that there are two laws of refraction. First law says that the incident ray, refracted ray, normal all lies on the same plane. And coming to the second law is Snell's law, and this Snell's law states that the ratio of sine of angle of incidence and the sine of angle of refraction is constant. So that we are going to discuss now, that is Snell's law derivation. See here, for this we are considering a situation. Here there is a person A and here is a person B. See, actually this is the interface of separation of two mediums, as this is water and this is air. That means a person is in air, that which is land of seashore, and a person unfortunately slipped into the water. So here B is screaming for help and A saw B. So A have to protect B. So for that, how he will go reach B means there are n number of ways. So like this he can come and he can go in water, like this he can come. So if you consider some n number of paths, so in n number of ways he can save B. But here we know that the how much speed we can travel in land or on land, that is not equal to swimming in water. So swimming in water is not that much easy. And in the same way, if you compare the light travels very fast in air, and when it enters to water it decreases its speed. So n number of ways I said no, but here I am considering only some two paths which are easy to protect B, and I am naming these paths as C and D. That means this A can move to C and he can come to B. So this is one path, A, C, B is a path, and A, D, B is another path. So if you consider, we have discussed that displacement also. So displacement is the shortest path, but here if you draw a shortest path from A to B, that may not be much easier, as you have to travel half of the distance on land and half distance in water. So I am considering these two paths as the nearest or the shortest path to save B. And see, this is normal and this is also a normal, and where this normal touching this AC, I am naming it as E, and here this is F. And here if you consider a perpendicular to from this point D, so this will be our E now. And in the same way, if I consider a perpendicular from C, this will be the F now. Why I have taken, you will understand now. See, from A to E and A to D, it will take same time. A to E on land and A to D is also the time taken to travel from A to E and A to D on land is same. In the same way, the time taken from C to B and F to B is also same. As these two paths are in water, this is same, and as these two paths are on land or air, this is also same. So where variation comes is E to C and D to F. E to C on land and D to F in water. So we have to show that this EC and DF are constant. So that is our Snell's law. And now coming to that, the distance traveled from E to C or EC, this is on land, no? On land it have taken some time delta t. In the same way, the distance travelled from D to F in water, this is in water, so it is also have taken a some time delta t. And now see, but the speeds are not same in on land and on water also. So speed on land it will be v1 and the speed in water is v2. These are different, and we know that distance is equal to speed into time. This is a formula, distance equal to speed into time. Here what is the distance? EC is the distance. So EC equal to land, no, on land, so v1 delta t. In the same way, next distance is df. Df equal to speed in water is v2, so v2 delta t. So EC equal to v1 delta t and df equal to v2 delta t. And then what will be the delta t? From both equations we can write delta t as, here first delta t equal to EC by v1, and from this delta t equal to df by v2. That means we can write like this, from these two, EC by df equal to v1 by v2. So let it be equation 1. And now let us consider this situation somewhat bigger here. See, I am drawing the diagram again here. These are two normals and this is the interface separating two media, and this is E and this is F, and as we have named this as D and C now, so this is the diagram. See, and we know that this is the incident ray. See, actually this is the incident ray and this is the refracted ray. This is the incident ray and this is the refracted ray. So the angle between incident ray and normal is called angle of incidence, and this is the perpendicular. Perpendicular means 90 degrees. So the inside angle will be 90 minus I. Okay, so if this is 90 minus I, from this triangle this will be I. And in the same way, this is the refracted ray. So this is the angle of refraction. Angle between refracted ray and normal is R, and this is the perpendicular 90 degrees. As this is 90 degrees, this will be 90 minus R. If this is 90 minus R, from this triangle this will be R. Okay, now let us consider this I now. Let us consider this I as sin I. See, we know that sin equal to opposite by adjacent side. That means sin I equal to opposite is EC, EC by DC. Okay, and in the same way, if you consider sin R, opposite side is DF and adjacent side is DC. And from this we can write this as EC equal to DC sin I, and this can be written as EC DF equal to DC sin R. Okay, na? EC equal to DC sin I, DF equal to DC sin R, and we have equation 1 here, EC by DF equal to V1 by V2. So put this EC here, that means EC is equal to DC sin I by what is DF? DC sin R, that is equal to V1 by V2. And we have one relation in this refraction. The speed of light is inversely proportional to the refractive index. That means speed and refractive index are inversely proportional to each other. By that we can say that V1 by V2 equal to N2 by N1. See, as this is a medium 1 and this is medium 2, V1 by V2 equal to N2 by N1. That means this can be written as like this, no, N2 by N1. And here DC, you can take out DC. So we will get like this. Sin I by sin R is equal to N2 by N1. Or this can be written as N1 sin I equal to N2 sin R, which is our Snell's law. So this is the Snell's law derivation.